Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. What I have here for you to look at is I just finished the Open Core Legacy Patcher on this 2010 MacBook Pro, and it took a little while, but I want to show you that it does work by powering it on, and we'll let it go. This does have an SSD in it, and it is running Sequoia. It just takes a second to actually boot up on the actual drive. And we'll let it bring it up, okay? And I'll edit it out. This thing is only running 4 gigs of RAM right now. I have ordered extra of the DDR3 1333 megahertz RAM for it. It's coming, and we're going to install it, and that was really what the video is about. But I wanted to show you that this actually worked. One of the things about the patcher was that when I actually created the drive, the computer would not boot from the EFI because it wanted a keyboard and a mouse. Well, it took some scratching, but it turns out that all you need is something like this, which is something I've had sitting around, which is a hub, and I plugged in a wired mouse and a wired keyboard, and then it accepted it. There was also an issue where if you leave it plugged in, it becomes an issue, so I unplugged it. So after several trials and errors, I was able to get the actual software to load, and now it works fine. It boots and it does everything just like it's supposed to do. Let me put the password in here, and as you can tell, it is running Sequoia, and everything works. I did go in and do some keyboard setting changes, the touchpad setting changes and whatnot, but yeah, that was the key. Using a dongle like this for a USB hub dongle and plugging in those two peripherals, it went through the thing. It did take a lot longer than I thought. I think it took several hours for it to actually finish, and then after it was all done, here we go. It's able to boot up and work just fine. It's a little slow. I'm hoping it's the RAM, that once I actually put the RAM in, it'll be much quicker. But outside of that, I mean, it works. Everything works, and it seems to function, and it's actually worked better than the last one. So, and with like even watching stuff, YouTube, and browsing for a website, it actually works better than what I had working before. So, yeah, I think it's going to be great. And this is, like I said, let me show you. Actually populate right now. I'm going to close this out. Old device, if you have, there it is right there, 2.4 gigahertz, if you can see it. Core 2 Duo. It's got 4 gigs of the DDR. Running Sequoia 15.2, the latest one. So I did download following their instructions. So go ahead, follow the instructions, and make yourself a boot drive and try your best. But we're going to continue and open the bottom up to replace the RAM on it. That's what we're trying to do. So let's close her up, turn her off, and get to that. Okay, I used a very small Phillips screwdriver to remove the cover. Remember, on this model, these three in the back take these longer screws for it to actually bottom out like that, versus the rest, which just take these little screws. And then once you do that, the cover should come right off, like so. And then there's the RAM that we'll be replacing. You can disconnect the battery, and then we'll go to replacing the RAM. And the RAM just pops out by flicking those two over, so let's do that. To remove the RAM, you just push these two anchors. I've disconnected the battery, and then just pull them out just like that. And this is micron 2 gig sticks, okay? And we're going to remove both. The other one is just below it, and they got little keys so you know which way they go. They can't really go the other way. So okay, and then when they come out, there you go, 2 sticks, okay? And then we'll put the new ones in. Alright, so the memory I got was this Timetech, and it's the same speed, the 1333. I also got 16 gigs of it because OWC said, even though this is these Macs came with 4, they were rated for possibly 8 max. They tested it and they said that 16 will work. So that's what we're going to put in. These are 8 gig modules, and I'm about to put 16 gigs in a Mac. So we push it in. When it sits all the way in, we just square it down. And so we're just going to put it in here and hope for the best. And then I'll close it up, put the power back in, and then we'll reconnect the power. And then we'll get it buttoned up and we'll fire up and see what happens. Alright, I got the final screw in. Let's flip her over and see what happens. Powering her up. Let's see if we get any error messages or anything like that, or if it takes the same amount of time or whatever. I think the first boot it's probably going to take a little longer. But we're going to see if it recognizes the RAM. Okay guys, remember before I put in the 1333 RAM, and this time it would hang. So this time I got the 1067, so 1 step slower on the RAM. So hopefully this time it will load completely, and I'll use that RAM for something else. But yeah, same thing. I got the Timetech, made for Mac, and it's 1 step slower, and it's the same speed that was the 4 gigs that was in there before. So I'm hoping that it actually finishes the boot and loads, and we'll give it a shot, and I'll bring it back if it does. Okay guys, it took a little longer, but it loaded. I'm gonna put in the password right now because it's a simple one right now until I change it, because I'm still working on this device. And let's see if it finished the load. It took that a little bit longer than I thought for that RAM to actually get seated, but yeah, the mid 2010s, just like this one says, mid 2010s from Timetech for Mac. Looks like it's working good. We're gonna run the other stuff, and then next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the Mac and see if it actually shows that it has. So now I got an SSD, 16 gigs of RAM on this, and it's running macOS Sequoia on this mid 2010 MacBook Pro. Come on. Let's see if I can just do settings. There we go. And see if it'll give me something. But I mean, how fast is a Cork Duo gonna run? Let me see if I can bring it up. Let's do about. There we go. And it's 16 gigs, so it actually is displaying that DDR3 16 gigs, okay? And it's running Sequoia 15.2. There we go. Alright, so that's about it, okay? And I mean, that's really it. So okay guys, so thank you for watching the video, and thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions, just let me know. But that's it. So this machine will actually run 16 gigs. Oh, finally populated there. And we'll do that. So again, hopefully you enjoyed another video. Again, have a great day. Take care. See you again.